Big up everyone. Hold on, hold on. Big up everyone. I'm live for the post reaction game. I know I'm almost a whole day late, but since I got nothing else to do today, so I just did it right away. So okay, guys. So I want to talk about damn it, Brazil qualified. So yes, Brazil won, Paraguay no, and yes, we have qualified. Absolutely, we have qualified. We have qualified to the World Cup 2026. So I got mixed emotions. First of all, yes, job done. We are not we could finally book our spot to the World Cup, and it was confirmed all thanks to Uruguay beating Venezuela 2-0. So yeah, Venezuela. If Venezuela would have gotten a point, we would have to wait until September. But now we have qualified, and yes, job is done. That's what we needed. This was a must-win game, and we did it. We did it. We absolutely beat. We absolute beat Paraguay 1-0, and it wasn't really the best performance, but it was actually a good performance because Paraguay are a good team, are a good side. They have never been this good in a while. They've never been this good. We And by the way, we are the first nation to take down this good Paraguay side since they lost Copa America. And ever since they got that new manager, Paraguay, we all knew they were going to give us a hard game. No doubt about that. They've been on good form ever since. And for the first time in this new era of that manager they have, defeated. And I'm really happy. We have qualified, yes. We got a 0-0 draw against Ecuador. We beat Paraguay just 1-0 off of Vinicius Jr. Vinny showing up, yes, for the goal. Crossing unmarked, yep, so he can kick it in. And boom, we just before halftime. This is what we needed. Yes, Brazil won, Paraguay no. This is what we needed to bring the momentum. This is what we needed. Yes, it wasn't a good performance, but to be fair, this is a this was a must-win game. Some people predicted a draw. Some people predicted a draw, which I think it was going to. I was thinking about that we were going to draw, but since we're winning 1-0, then so we get the win, and I'm happy because we qualify for the World Cup, so we can just rest our players into the September window and just give other guys the opportunities. And thank you, Carlo. Successful. All we just needed was 4 points in the dart results. Due to Venezuela with that World Cup playoff spot at number seventh, we have qualified, and I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm gonna talk about the game. And yes, big up to everyone. Hold on, hold on. The screen's from yesterday. Of course, we won 1-0. So yes, I'm really happy about that. We had before we check on the stats. So far we finished third, and of course want to like get any more places. Thanks to Uruguay winning, we beat Paraguay. We were sitting in sixth. With this draw, we were sitting in sixth because at one point Colombia were winning 1-0, and we were drawing 0-0. And Colombia tied Argentina 1-1. Even Argentina have qualified, Colombia hasn't. So yeah, for some places, Uruguay, Paraguay, they need a draw. Colombia needs a win. But yes, I'm really happy for this win, despite the speculation. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy with this 1-0 win. All right, let's check out the stats. It wasn't the greatest game. I would say good performance. We didn't concede a single goal in so far in our first two games, and we were going against two tough opponents. For freak's sake, why it doesn't share the screen right away? I'm really happy. Like I said, the stats we finished third so far, even though so they're not must-win games unless we want like end a bit higher. But well, that's all that matters. We're going to World Cup spot. But I believe if you finish lower, you do get a tougher opponent. So I think, but all that matters to me, we've qualified. So I'm really happy that we have qualified for the World Cup. So yeah, and now we gotta like and now we gotta prepare for it next year because the World Cup is officially 1 year. And let's not mind you guys that let's not forget the World Cup draw isn't really until December, so we got plenty of time. So yeah, I'm really happy what I saw today on and off the pitch. On the pitch, most likely. Yes, everything was good. I would say, except like midfield and the finishing because it still needs some improvement. I like the lineup except for like Martinelli. Yes, he was winning like a few like dual fouls and all that. But I'm just and Bruno Guimaraes. I think I don't know, but I think he might have to just get dropped and just give somebody else opportunities. Damn it! Why is somebody calling me? No, I don't want to end the stream. No, hold on. Sorry about that. They were calling me about my paycheck and all. I mean, not paycheck, but well, that's personal. So if I mentioned that, but god dang it, my internet. But yes, I think that the midfield could be ranged a bit better. I expected Carlo. So far, what I would give Carlo, I'm all right. So I'm going to give Carlo. I would say, of course, I would give Carlo. I would say so far, a solid 7. I guess I would say I think he could do better in the midfield. And yeah, kudo to the whole defense. The pair of Marquinhos. This is very different gravity, of course. Bendisor. I never felt so safe as a Brazilian fan. Another manager's Ricardo, I think, and I not like it so far. mark for each other. A place team settles. He stops on mistakes. So yeah, I would give him a 7, and I expect some players to get better. So yeah, I'm really excited. What else could be due? And of course, I'm not going to be 100% giddy about it. We can do better, but I like what we're doing. He didn't brought on Wesley, the guy from Flamengo. He should have given Esteval. If this wasn't a must win game, if Brazil won like some games, like either against Venezuela or Uruguay, and let's say that we just needed to draw Ecuador, or if we somehow beat Ecuador, and we have qualified for the World Cup already. If that was announced last week, then Hugo then should have been given he probably would have started this game because let's not forget that this was played at Corinthians ground, Corinthians Stadium, the Corinthians Arena, and we all know that that's the home of him and the goalkeeper, him, and that's the club. And yes, and we should have left him there. Absolutely, bro. Shoot, I might just get a water real quick. Damn, I forgot to pick it up. So, but I got more to say. For your, all right, I'm back, guys. But yeah, I'm really happy what's going on. Damn it! Before the stream starts. But yeah, we've qualified. But yeah, we have qualified. And yes, and I expect us to do better, anyways. So yes, like people are saying that. So yeah, and we also have an update as well. One of our players as well, and we're gonna talk about Gressel, which I know he brought on Danilo, which I think he was okay. Even the Brazil media during the international break, gum chewed, analyzing during the game. Every chewing gum is counted. So yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited. Even Carlo Ancelotti made a tweet as well, which I'm gonna get into it. But yes, and speaking of, but Neymar even made Esteban. But yeah, I just hope that everyone gets prepared for the World Cup. Yes, and we have to just, especially that perfect ball moment, to capitalize. And let's not forget, Paraguay are not a bad side. No one should disrespect Paraguay. Look at their form. Like I said yesterday, they haven't lost a game. I know I predicted 2-1, which was more of a realistic score. I kind of wanted just two more goals rather than one. Well, look, Paraguay, they're not a bad team to face. They're not. Last time they lost was against Costa Rica in the Copa America. They were awful. They lost all their games, and we slapped them 4-1. Vinny could have hat trick if Lucas Paqueta, or Paqueta, as you guys say, Paqueta, gave them the penalty kick because he was confident. I know Paraguay gave us way too much space. But yeah. But yeah, I was waiting for some people wanted the Paqueta Germanich duo, but sadly this never happened this ever. I don't I mean I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know if we that in our next two games against Chile. By the way, Chile are out of the World Cup, and Bolivia since they're not must win games. So yeah, so yeah, bear you in mind. I don't know, but let me check what stadium we're gonna play. Time is not announced. The day isn't announced, but we all know it's around there. But yeah, it's a not must win game, so we can relax and sit back and just watch. We did a job done. Yes, absolutely awful what we saw in Brazil. What we saw in Brazil, we've been waiting for this circus to come to an end, especially Carlo Ancelotti rumors back in 2023. Never happened. And and then we and like we even had a point we were winless in three games. And and all that, and yes, I know that I need to talk to like more people as well. So yeah, this, but yes, especially what we saw with DT at the World Cup, at the end of the World Cup, and for once Flamengo and all that. But yes, but yes, do I think we win the World Cup? I don't think so. I mean, I want to be optimistic. I'm not saying, but we have to prove otherwise. I think we have a lot of talent, but we have to do everything the right way, and we haven't been. And I expect a whole lot, especially let's not forget September. After September, we're going to be playing friendlies, and it depends who we played. So yes, last year, you guys remember we did play England. Well, Haram Ball Southgate, England, and we got hyped up with Endrick with that goal, and especially scored back-to-back games, like three straight games, including a return to Palmeiras before moved to Real Madrid, which I know it didn't went well in his first season, which will affect the Salazar. I mean, I hope Carlo respects Hendrick, use him more often, especially those are not must-win games. I mean, I know he's injured right now, unfortunately, which poor the kid, unfortunately. I mean, he's a young adult. I love Hendrick Demo, but yes, another players opportunity, especially even as well. We could give more players opportunities, like let's not forget. We could also not just give Hendrick an opportunity. Let's also give what's his name? Alberto, the Corinchi striker. I want to see minutes from him. I want to see what he does, especially we're just gonna basically, yes. Since they must not win games, Bolivia, they do have something to play for. I don't know if we're gonna help them or not, but why not give these teams opportunities? Since Bolivia still have a chance of qualifying, and Venezuela could go out because they got to play Argentina, even though they don't care. And Bolivia has Colombia and Brazil as they're fighting for that last spot. If Bolivia beaten Uruguay, then the chance of them would have been more of their side. And then let's not forget Chile. Yeah, they're finished. And that's very sad because that's the real downfall of race. Brazil, yes, we sucked. And we even had that period, We even had a period, Remember, we lost 3 games in a row. We lost to Uruguay. We lost to Colombia and Brazil 2-0, 2-1, and 1-0 at home. It was so frustrating to watch. Yes, we had a good start against Bolivia, a 5-1 win. We snatched a late winner against Peru. It was very late, 1-0. And then yes, we had Neymar and everybody. Neymar had that leadership. He was carrying. And unfortunately, Brazil's 1-1 draw against Venezuela was the real downfall. Was the real problem that we got in. Right? Neymar goes out injured. Sadly, he gets his ACL. Sadly, and goes off. And that was a massive blow. Eventually, and unfortunately, just couldn't get worse for Fernando Diaz, who had the before they let him go until November, until after that disaster game against Argentina. I mean well, it was a disaster window, and then we lose 2-0 to Uruguay, and then we went winless for 4 games, and we all knew, and then we added this idiot Peter Griffin 2.0 into our system, and nothing changed. And then we all knew that I wasn't getting carried away. Even that 3-3 draw against Spain, I wasn't carried away with the 3-2 win against Mexico, even though that was literally the worst Mexico side. And and even though I like Mexico because that's actually my second favorite national team, even though I know what's going on. Mexico is controversial right now, and you know what? Sorry for the quick off topic, guys, but after this stream, I will redirect to you to Mr. Joshua J stream, which I will, which I think I should have redirected but yes, but yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping a lot more. And then especially that 1-1 draw at the United States. I know I wasn't giddy about them. We got outplayed by even if it's the United States' golden generation. They were not doing good. They got smashed up by Colombia 5-1 before that. And then we drew 0-0 with Costa Rica. And then before we had that one good performance against Paraguay, and then we got outplayed again against Colombia, who should have beaten us. Even though we had a shot on target, we could have won the game, especially Rafinha's free kick golazo, Rafinha and Rafi. And that 0-0 draw against Uruguay, which was super physical, classic rivalry. And then obviously we beat Ecuador 1-0, whatever. And they thought we were going on form. And then in November, and then we lost 1-0 to Paraguay. They beat us to get revenge, right? And we get this fraud still in there, right? And then people start to believe this, but people started to change in October when Botafogo wasn't good form, and David All Jr. made one good sub, bringing on Angulo Jesus and Luis Enrique off the bench. Even though Luis Enrique is no longer at Botafogo, he's at that Russian club, which, by the way, I think which by the way, Grayson is gonna leave for that club. It's official after the Club World Cup with Flamengo. Or I think it's Russian or Central Asian, something like that, or Eastern Europe. I'm not sure, somewhere around there. But yeah, all the results, like I said, and Paraguay did beat us 1-0. Obviously, they're a good national team, and yes, they got revenge before we got revenge yesterday. um, And then something clicked, like I said, in October. Yes, we beat the worst Chile 2-1. It should have been the draw. We went 1-0 down in 2 minutes. And then Luis Enrique did equalize before halftime, and it was 1-1 until Angulo Jesus snapped the late winner from Botafogo. Botafogo FC saved us, basically. The black and white Star Dogs saved us from Rio de Janeiro. We beat Chile 2-1. And then we did beat Peru 4-0, but it was still Haram ball. The 4-0 scoreline doesn't feel like 4-0 technically. Two of the goals were not from open play, it was two penalties. Rafinha just wanted to smash those two penalties. Because at least Rafinha has been good on pens, which I do like it. And Rafinha has been more confident than Vinny on penalties lately. Yeah, safe to say that Rafinha has been doing better than not just Vinny overall from open play. Even though Rafinha hasn't scored a goal from open play for Brazil yet, or when was the last time? But I just remember. But yeah, so we have to go out there and just show the world we have to win. And we all know that everyone has to prepare for the Club World Cup. But yes, before I talk about players that will go, um, and and then we got that 1-1 draw of Venezuela, which we should have won. Rafinha scored another free kick. Not from open play, it was a free kick. Another free kick golazo against Venezuela at the Maturin before we let Venezuela tie the game at the second half. And we were the Rafinha's free kick, basically 5 minutes before halftime, was cool. And then 20 minutes later, second half started, and then about a minute, not even 2 minutes later, we've conceded 1-1. What the? Are you kidding me? It's already 1-1. And then we were getting outplayed, and then we got a penalty. Vinny sadly missed it, unfortunately. Rafinha should have taken it because this was a must. We could have defeated Venezuela at the Maturin, because Venezuela, they also got a 1-1 draw against Argentina. They also went 1-0 up before they let Venezuela equalize the second half. But yeah, it is what it is. And then since the equalize happened, we played Uruguay again for the third time as well. We couldn't get revenge. I knew that we were going to draw. And people started to believe the David all hype because he defeated in 4 games. And then we had that long winter period, late fall winter period, heading to spring. No games until March. Everyone's form continues. Real Madrid wins the Intercontinental Cup and all that. And yes, we beat Colombia 2-1. It was a snatch win. Colombia were on poor form. And by the way, who are still on poor form, they still have not won a game. They have not won a game since smashing Chile 4-0 in October. So yeah. Ever since that happened, this fraud needed to go. We were scumbagging wins. We scumbagged the late win against Colombia, which did we deserve to win? Probably not. But Vinny did score. Rafinha linked up play, especially the penalty Rafinha has been taking. So he's been doing a good job, even though Rafinha has been tough. And then we lose 4-1 to Argentina. But now we got Carlo in. No draw against Ecuador. We got the job done against Paraguay. So yeah, the game against Chile means nothing. We're already in it. Just give the players opportunities against Bolivia. If we wanted to, we could help them. Which Bolivia has to do their job away in Colombia, because Colombia, they're still trying to fight a spot. And Colombia could have qualified if they didn't root Argentina. If they didn't concede to 10 men Argentina. But no, but they. And Luis Diaz, well, that's just Colombia, if you ask. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, I want to talk about this. Okay, let me try to pull up Twitter. Let me try to find this. Brazil football, yep. Absolutely. So yes. Respecting it. Uh-huh. But yeah, we kept back-to-back clean sheets, by the way, the first time since the World Cup. So this is good motivation. And some people say, yeah, I know. But yeah, I'm just happy overall. Hold on, let me try to pull out a tweet. So yeah, as you know, all the Brazilian players that will be going. And let's not forget, real quick, yes, big ups to Carlo Ancelotti. Um, Especially bringing Vinny the vibes and the momentum like that, giving him a hug as always. He knows his players. That's what I like. That's what I like about legend, man, best man management in the world. So yes, but I do want to pull this up. Real quick before Mr. Joshua J starts his stream, which he needs to make up his mind. Like, why does he? All right, let me pull this up before I have to end the live stream. Why is X trying to act up on me now? Why is X trying to act up now? Come on. All right, there we go. Yep, it says big up to Brazil football. Gressel will join Zenit after the Club World Cup, which means he will lead to Flamengo. In my opinion, I've never heard this club. I hope I don't get copyright. Stupid asses will try and be. There's no Champions League football, so I think they're a team of Russia, and I think they need a player of that profile. So I see why he's going over there. Good luck to him. Even though they won't be playing Champions League football, European competitions. So yeah, um, big up to and all the players that will participate in Club World Cup. Grayson with Flamengo, Vinny Jr. to Real Madrid, obviously, including all the players that were not called up, but that are playing with alongside him at Real Madrid or any club. Esteban or Esteval to Palmeiras for the last time because he's actually going to play with Palmeiras for the Club World Cup and not Chelsea, and that will be after the Club World Cup. Um, Along with obviously the players that are called up, especially Wesley and all that. Um, even who else? Marquinhos at PSG, obviously. Not surprised at that for sure. Not forget about that. Not a lot of players, not a lot of us, not a lot of reserve players of the Club World Cup. It's just that played yesterday that will be there. So yes, I think that's going to be it. And I think that's it. Unless I'm a lot of, I mean, everyone technically has a Brazilian player on the squad, but they're not called up to the national team. But yeah, no Rafinha. That was his last game of the season because Barcelona are not in the Club World Cup. Allison, same thing. Liverpool are not in it. Casemiro, same thing. Manchester United are not in there, so don't worry about them. Oh yeah, let's not forget Andre Santos going to Chelsea as well with that. So which so big up to everyone. Yes, I don't know, but maybe after Mr. Joshua J stream, I will be planning doing an emergency meeting if people could come in, or I don't know. I want I want to do an emergency meeting because I'm not happy what's going on with the situation with FIFA, CONCACAF, and the United States. It's a bloody disgrace what's going on, and like trying to bring out these BS politics and not tracking down proper criminals. This is so it's a disgrace, in my opinion. I mean, I want to do that stream, but I don't know if Michael will want to join because I want to see his thoughts. But yeah, big ups to everyone. Um, we're going to redirect you to Mr. Joshua J, who is live, locked in. Talk about Man City, Liverpool. They're moving madly. Yeah, they've been moving pretty mad. I'm not gonna lie. They've been moving crazy. So big ups to everyone. Let me try to start this redirection. If I could oh wait, I forgot. I don't think I could redirect streams. Shit. Oh wait, I can't redirect anybody. God dang it. Ah, frick, I can't not redirect. Come on, close. Oh yeah, I don't think I can. I can't redirect people because of that. Because I need more subscribers. Dang it. Never mind. The whole reason why I redirected to Carnage once, I think, and somebody else because well, okay, whatever. We're just gonna send the link. So big up to everyone. I'm